How's it going, y'all? My name's Caleb. I sing and play guitar in the band Colony House. And we're here in Chicago, and I'm gonna give you the best rundown that I can give. It's not my strong suit, but we'll start with my guitars. The story behind this is I don't know the exact year, early 90s, 335. And I found this guitar in my dad's closet, and he had forgotten about it, and so I started playing it, and squatter's rights, I guess. Now it's mine. Diving deeper into the guitar, I don't actually, these are just stock pickups. I never changed the pickups in here. I use D'Addario. I do 11 to 52, I think. A little heavier, like medium gauge, I guess. I'm a middle pickup guy. I like it right in the middle. I'm usually playing more rhythm stuff, so not like Scotty, our guitar player, is bright and bridge. And I kind of, on this guitar, something about the combo between the two is like the magic. And I don't do a lot of rolling off. I'm all the way up all the time. I usually, right or wrong, the gear snobs will be mad at me, but if I need a little less, I'll just use my volume pedal. The Colony House tuning, we're down a half step on everything. Everything's down a half step, and this guitar specifically, I use it for like a drop D, so C sharp for us. This one stays in a drop C sharp for kind of a heavier song. All right, on to the next guitar, which I don't know a ton about this. I'm more of a story guy with guitars more than the details. So again, slow to judge. I don't know much about this guitar other than the kind people at Fender hooked me up with this before our last tour, and I didn't do anything with it. It's all stock, so the pickups are what come in it, tuned in the same thing, drop, not drop, but down a half step. This guitar is interesting. It's not made by Nike. It's made right. It's a Squire. It's a Squire, and I bought this strictly because I like the look of it, and I bought it on accident. I was on eBay just kind of doing the gear thing, and I saw this guitar and I was like, that's a almost butterscotch Jazzmaster, and it has sometimes the Jazzmasters have a lot of switches and like kill switches in these, I don't know, just too many buttons for me. And this was interesting because it has like the tone knobs are one and the same with the volume. Like they are these little clicker things down here, and then the volume's on top. So it's just like, for me, who tries to think as little as possible about what is happening while I'm performing, it's a nice guitar. I bid on this like $100, thinking, oh, I won't get it, but whatever. And then I got the email. You got the guitar, so it was shipped to me. And it's not it's a $100 guitar. So I asked my friend who works on guitars, I'm like, is it worth spending any money on this? And he was like, if you like the wood, like if you like playing it, you can do whatever you want to, it's your guitar. And so I was like, I do like playing it. So I had him put some Lawler like P90s in it. So these two pickups are more expensive than the whole guitar. And this is like just a shred stick. It's super high, like way hotter than any of my other guitars, and it's loud, and for some reason I gravitate towards it. Like, always want to pick it up, even though I've got a lot nicer guitars here. I think it reminds me of the guitars like I learned on. Moving on to this guy who's new. It's not a new guitar, but new to me. This is also one of my dad's guitar. My dad plays guitar, obviously, and I don't know anything about this guitar. Found it again. It is like an American-made Strat, and he souped it up with all this. This is from the 80s, so he has like this MIDI. It has MIDI, this whole MIDI controller that I don't know anything about. I don't know. I've never messed with it. It has these switches that don't do anything, and it has this thing that I have taped down right now. It's like a Roland MIDI like synth thing. And anyways, I have it taped down so it doesn't hit the strings because it lost all its screws. This is like my go-to guitar on this tour. I start the set with this, and I play the first 10 songs with this guitar. So it has like some of the more surfy stuff and more like when I like chorus. If I'm adding chorus, like it's just like chorus and a Strat is kind of, they're just match made in heaven. Feels nostalgic. This is one of 2 acoustics that I tour with. It is a Taylor. I think it's like the Grand Concert series, and I might actually be able to. The actual model 512, which is way down in there. It'd be hard to see. But this was my guitar from like middle school. I got this. This is what I learned on, and I lost it for a while. I couldn't find it for a while. It has this LR bag system, like this old LR bag system in it, and this is like, again, going back to my dad, he swears by this, and they don't make this anymore. It's really simple, really great sounding EQ and pickup for these guitars. Oh, it's tuned for a song called Why Even Try, which is everyth's down a half step, with the exception of the high E string, which is tuned to a C sharp. So it's like this open. It allows you to just play some pretty open chords. And then last in the arsenal would be this bad boy, this has seen a lot of action. This was what I started touring with. Taylor, again, same pickup system, which I wish I knew the model that it's discontinued, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But this is, yeah, 910 Dreadnought, like workhorse guitar, huge, sounds huge because it is huge. It's some airlines damage there has been repaired. Some faulty guitar tech work there. Dropped this guitar. I won't say any names. It wasn't Mason. This is tuned, I believe, to Dadgad. Yeah, out of tune, but Dadgad. But for us, it would be Dadgad, everything down half step. So yeah, that's the story behind those guitars. We're at my pedal board. I have combined my pedal board into, this is like my acoustic side, which looks more complex than it is, and then this is the electric side. It's way too big for what I really need, but I only have to use one cable now because I got a little A/B switcher here that allows me to switch from acoustic to electric. I'll start on the acoustic side. Literally, it's nothing, except the only thing I have is I use this Strymon Cappy stand, and I actually just use it. It has like this pedal's broken right now, and so I'm just using the spring reverb it has built into it to just add a little bit of vibe when I need it for an acoustic. So that's the only thing that's happening with the acoustic guitar. Then if I switch over to the electric side, I've got obviously old trusty Ernie Ball volume pedal, first pedal I ever had. As far as the chain goes, what's interesting is earlier in this tour, a stagehand was confused and unpatched my whole pedal board. So we had, in a mad dash, we repatched it all, and so the chain, I'm gonna be guessing a little bit. My chain starts with this guy, which is our dear friend Dave Brown has made this awesome pedal. Sorry, they're all taped up with my settings, but this is called the Protein. It's an overdrive pedal, and this is the overdrive portion, and I believe this is the tube screamer. The overdrive I use more like a boost than anything, because my amp has 2 channels, which is a Vincent amp, and I actually use it has like a high gain side, and that's what I've been using as like more pure overdrive. And then I just use this to add like a little brightness if I want to cut through, or if I have the amp on the clean side and just want just a little bit of gain, I'll add that. This is the Whaler, a Matthews Effects fuzz pedal, and I use it sparingly. I use it on 220, which is like a riff song. And I use it on Oh Yeah, which is another riff song, just the heaviest moments of the set. Jumping from the Whaler, we go, I believe, we go to the Juliana, which this is a Walrus audio pedal, and is a chorus and vibrato pedal. But it's cool, it has a tap tempo on it now, so you can dial in your, for me especially, who can't bend down and mess with stuff, I can, if I want it a little slower or the chorus to be a little slower, I can tap tempo. We go to this Monument pedal, which is another Walrus audio effects pedal, and it is a tremolo. I kind of use it in a psychedelic way, like for just why I don't really use it tastefully. I use it aggressively. From the tremolo, we go to this Giga Delay, which is kind of like, as you can tell, all my pedals have been on here for a while. This one has collected a lot of dust. This is like my tried and true. What's funny about it is I mainly use it for slapback, for like a kind of like cheap sounding digital slapback, like not a cool tape slapback like this one would do way better at. I've been playing this pedal since I was 16, so it just feels like I know it inside and out, and it just does some fun tricks. Hops over to the Strymon Cappy stand. This one does work, unlike the one on this side where I just use the reverb. And then lastly is what the last pedal in the chain is this Fathom, which is another Walrus audio reverb. So yeah, this is my pedal board. All my pedals go to a brand new amp for me, which is the Vincent. Literally, this is the first tour I've played on it. It has 2 channels. Park, you might know about this. Do you know anything more about my amp than I do? You bought it for me.
I'm pretty sure it's got a few different kinds of tubes in it.
Yes.
No 12AX7, PL84 and 6V6s, right? I think so. I think so.
It's a feller out of Portland, right? That makes the amps, Chris Benson, and they're like, it's leaps and bounds above anything. As you can tell, I don't always know the details about what's happening, but I appreciate an amp or pedals with this little amount of knobs that I have to tweak for it to sound good, and that is one of those amps that's like, it's literally got like a volume, treble, bass, and it has a B channel with volume and gain. And I'm like, this is exactly how my brain works when it comes to gear. It's like, I just need to be able to dial in the things that I understand. And so that's that amp. And it's on top of a 212 matching tab. Thank you for checking out my gear. Please check out colonyhousemusic.com for any future tours or any other good stuff we have to announce.